Hello guys, this is the 2023 Hyundai Kona SEL, and this SEL is finished in ultra black. Does look good on this Kona. By the way guys, there is 5 trims you could choose from. There is the SE, SEL, Limited, N line, and then the N. The N Kona is the fastest Kona you could buy, and it is the sportiest. And let's go ahead and take this 2023 Hyundai Kona SEL on a test drive and see how it does. All right, so here is the interior of this 2023 Hyundai Kona SEL. As I said guys, there is 5 trims you could choose from, and I think the SEL is the popular trim. This Kona is $27,000 with destination, so the price is not too bad. It does have an 8-inch screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. They are wireless, and my phone is just basically connected to charge. And yeah, I'm glad that there is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Let's go ahead and take this Kona on a drive and see how it does. Here is a backup camera. Backup camera is actually nice and clear. I think it does still have the sticker on it, a small label they put on the camera to protect it when shipping. So I think it is still on it. But overall, the camera is good and it is nice and wide. Alright, so driving this 2023 Hyundai Kona SEL. Does drive nice and comfortable. Suspension is good. It's not too hard and it's not too soft. We're gonna go ahead and take this Kona on the highway and we'll see how it does. This engine is very quiet. By the way, it does have engine shut-offs. When you come to complete stop, the engine will actually turn off to save some gas. It is currently in sport mode. Very nice and responsive. And this is the lane keeping assist. Handling is actually very good in this Kona. Very similar to the Honda HR-V. I drove the redesigned Honda HR-V. This IVT transmission is actually very good. So basically it's a CVT transmission, but a little bit different. So anyways, this IVT transmission is actually connected to a 2.0 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. It is nice and responsive. This IVT transmission is nice and responsive. This engine produces 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. So not a lot of numbers, but this Kona is nice and light and definitely nice and responsive. So I really love the way how this Kona responds. On the highway, it's actually nice and quiet for 27,000. Honestly, I thought it would be a little bit louder, but honestly, it's pretty good. So very comfortable suspension, good amount of rubber on the tires, and overall, it's a very comfortable small or subcompact SUV. As I said, the handling is good, so the suspension is nice and comfortable, but at the same time it does handle pretty good. Steering wheel is not wrapped in leather for $27,000. I really wish it was. The ring itself, it's very thin, and overall it is definitely a good SUV. As I mentioned, there's an 8-inch screen, does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and this is an all-wheel drive SUV, so that, of course, that's good. So in New England weather, this is definitely good. So it does have a manual shifting, not the smoothest, and that's expected. And this is an IVT transmission, so basically those gears are fake. But yeah, the interior looks good. Mostly everything is finished in plastic, a little bit on the cheaper side, but honestly everything looks alright. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, and nothing too cheap. So definitely good amount of plastic everywhere. Even the armrest is finished in plastic. But yeah, those kind of places you don't really touch. But for the armrest, I really wish that it was soft, especially for the price point, $27,000 with destination. It does have an engine shut off, so when you come to complete, it does have start engine, push to start, and it does have engine shut off. I did mention that at the beginning of the video. Small storage place, 112 volt, one USB, and another USB just only for charging. And actually both of them are for charging because this Kona has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This thing is very smooth, and steering wheel is extremely light. Very responsive. There is barely any lag from this engine or this IVT transmission. Brakes feel nice and solid. I love the brake pedal, and I really like what Hyundai does with their brakes overall. They don't feel weird. They are just the perfect feel. We're gonna go ahead and take this Kona on the highway again. Let's do another acceleration right here. As I mentioned, guys, 147 horsepower. Keeps pulling, very smooth, and yeah, I really like this 2.0 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine connected to this IVT transmission. By the way, this Kona has all the nice safety features. Not all of them, because it does not have actually adaptive cruise control. It does have lane keeping assist, steering assist, emergency braking, blind spot monitoring system. So good amount of features on this SEL trim. I think if you guys get the limited trim, it will have adaptive cruise control. But overall, I think the interior looks good. Seating position is amazing. I really wish I could lower the seat a tiny bit, but it's actually not bad. So there's a good amount of adjustments to the seat. So seeing out of this SUV is very good. So the windows are nice and big, and the mirrors are nice and big. Seeing out of the back is actually not bad, and there is a decent amount of legroom and headroom in the back. Trunk space isn't really the biggest. The new HR-V has a ton of space, but I can't wait to see what Hyundai is going to do with the redesigned Kona. I think it should happen anytime soon, but the ride quality is very good, and suspension setup is very, very good. And if you guys are curious about the ground clearance on this Kona, the ground clearance is 6.7 inches. So getting in and out of this SUV is very easy. You just basically slide into the seat, and yeah, you really like that. So let's go ahead and test the steering assist. Steering assist is active now. So it does have cruise control, but does not have adaptive cruise control. As you guys see, the SUV is driving by itself, basically just steering by itself, taking this nice turn. And Hyundai Genesis, Kia system. They're very good. Anyways guys, let's go ahead and go back to the main screen. Hyundai system is alright. I really wish that they update this. On the bigger screens they have a different system, which I prefer much better than this one. But this one is not that bad. It does look a little bit on the older side, but it's not really that bad. The seats are nice and comfortable. This interior is finished in gray, so basically just like a very whitish gray. I don't mind this tablet style screen, but the bezels are very thick on the side. But yeah, overall a very comfortable ride. So nice and comfortable on the highway, nice and smooth doing city driving, and yeah, overall such a beautiful SUV. There's 3 buttons down there. There is a brightness control, hill descent, and traction control. Let's go ahead and do a small acceleration right here. Let's put it in manual mode and shift. The engine shut off button is right here, drive mode, and the lock. The lock button is basically for if you get stuck in snow or mud. This will basically make all the wheels spin at the same time. Manual shifting is actually very nice and quick. The steering wheel gets nice and heavy in sport mode. And the ride quality is very, very good. Hyundai, Kia, they are doing a great job now. Seriously, they are throwing a lot of technology, and the way how their cars and SUVs drive, they drive just perfect. There's a small storage place right here, a top shelf, 2 cup holders, small storage place. This is nice and soft. I love this white interior, as I said, guys. So nice and responsive from this 2.0 naturally aspirated. Truly impressed. And maybe the price is a little bit expensive, but honestly you're getting a good amount of features. This is an SUV, a subcompact SUV. It is all-wheel drive. It does have the safety features, and it does have an 8-inch screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. They are wireless, but I really wish that for the price point that Hyundai threw in the adaptive cruise control, because Honda actually does that. So Honda, on all their trims, they have all the safety features. So basically, if you get the base HRV, you will get all that nice safety features the highest trim will get. So Honda doesn't remove things and add things when it comes to safety features. They do add and remove the blind spot monitoring system, rear cross traffic, but when it comes to the safety things like cruise controls, adaptive cruise control, steering assist, lane keeping assist, they throw them all on the same like they throw everything on all the trims. So that's what I like about Honda, but Hyundai does remove stuff, which I'm not a big fan of that. But overall, it is such a beautiful SUV, nice and comfortable. The engine is nice and responsive, and this SUV looks pretty good from the outside. I'm not a big fan of the rims on this Kona. I really wish for the price point and for this SEL trim, I really wish that the rims looked a little bit better. But other than that, this thing drives very good. Decent amount of headroom and legroom in the back. The trunk is a little bit on the smaller side, but not too bad. And I completely forgot to talk about the turning radius down there. Turning radius is very, very good, and yeah, it is a very small SUV, so the turning radius is good. And the second thing is the steering wheel. It is very light, so driving this SUV around parking lots is very easy. By the way, the steering assist is active. So everything looks good. Air vents have a really nice feel to them. You could block the air by rotating this to the left. It does have blind spot monitoring system, halogen lights, and there is a glasses holder, nice and big. The visor, it's very hard. There is a good sized mirror with a halogen light. So overall, it's a good SUV, drives good, and fuel economy numbers are actually not too bad. 28 in the city, 33 highway, and 30 combined. So those numbers are actually very good for an SUV and for it being all-wheel drive. So a few things that I don't like about this Kona: a good amount of plastics, and second thing is the mirror is a little bit on the bulky side. Not a big fan of it. And the third thing is this engine. It does get a little bit loud at higher RPMs. I know it's a very small engine, and it is naturally aspirated, but it's a very small engine, and it is connected to an IVT transmission. So I do understand that, but it's just super loud at higher RPMs. But overall, such a beautiful SUV, nice and comfortable. Does have very easy climate controls, push to start, which I like. And yeah, overall, I really like this Kona. I hope you guys enjoyed this POV test drive of this 2023 Kona SEL. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and see Modi here at Hyundai of Milford. And if you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, please like and subscribe because it does help a lot. And as always, I'll see you next time.